Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another TEW2020 Experiment video. As today we are back looking at what would happen if AEW and WWE joined forces. Last episode we went forward 1 year. In this episode we've gone forward 5 to see how it continues going. They had such a big roster, 300 workers employed, I think. How have they gone with that? How is everyone doing with so many wrestlers competing for spots, competing for titles, competing for time? Who has risen to the top? An interesting experiment to revisit, I think. And we're here, Monday, week 1, January 2027, and Wrestler of the Year is Asuka. Which, I mean, we'll look at the Power 500s in a minute. Is she still with AEWWE? She is. She's the WWE Women's Champion. And she's in a new couple, actually. Oh, she also injured her back. But she's in a relationship with Ace Steel, who I cannot open his profile at this time, but take my word for it. Company of the Year is AEWWE, of course. Team of the Year is the Grizzled Young Veterans. Good for them. Match of the Year is Britt Baker defeating Bianca Belair on an episode of AEWWE Raw. Show of the Year is AEWWE Wrestlemania Backlash, of course. Young wrestler is Azumi. Veteran wrestlers Randy Orton. Female wrestler is Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's the Female Wrestler of the Year, but not the Wrestler of the Year. Asuka's Wrestler of the Year, but not Female Wrestler of the Year. Sure. Most Improved Company is Capital City Championship Combat, okay. Independent Wrestler of the Year is Jonathan Gresham, former Ring of Honor champion at the time of recording. I mean, current Ring of Honor champion at time of recording. Manager of the Year is Taz. Announcer of the Year is Mauro Ranallo. Color Commentator of the Year is Mark Henry, okay. And referee is Aja Smith. Lovely to see. Yeah, let's just have a look at the annual awards. So, last time out, CM Punk won Wrestler of the Year, then he won it again, then Charlotte won it, then Asuka won it, then Asuka retained it. So, Punk winning it twice, but then the women taking it, Charlotte winning it, and then Asuka winning it twice in a row. Tag Team of the Year, the New Day won it 3 years in a row, and then Britt Baker and Sonya Deville won it before the Grizzled Young Veterans. Interesting. The women doing very well, clearly, winning all these awards. Young Wrestler, Kenta Kaboom, then Azumi winning it twice, Julia Hart, Azumi. Veteran wrestler, Lashley, Ziggler, Punk, Orton. Female wrestler, Lynch, Ripley, Banks, Ripley. Company of the Year, AEWWE winning it every single time, of course. Match of the Year, Punk defeated Rollins, Orton, and Riddle, yep, last time out for 100. Then Punk and Moxley defeated The New Day on Dynamite for a 99 the next year. Ripley and Asuka defeated Banks and Bliss in a cage match on Dynamite for a 99 the next year. 2025, Asuka defeated Banks for a 100 on Raw, incredible. And then this year, Baker defeated Belair on Raw for another 100. The women, once again, clearly doing incredible. Power 500 wise, I mean, yeah, just look at this. Number 1, Asuka. 2, Rhea Ripley. 3, Alexa Bliss. 4, Belair. 5, Banks. 6, Charlotte. The top 6, all women. And then Rollins is 7 and Baker's 8. So 7 of the top 8 are women. The women dominating AEWWE. Let's just get to the company to have a proper look at it here, shall we? AEW, All Elite, World Wrestling Entertainment. Vince McMahon still the owner, still alive. Tony Khan the booker. Major stars-wise, Orton, Page, Reigns, Bliss, and Ripley. Do they have a face of the company? They do not have a face or a figurehead, or what you want to say. But, I mean, Ripley and Bliss, the two biggest stars here, it is telling me. Which, yeah, amazing. Title-wise, let's start with just stuff like Rumbles. Rumbles were won by Punk, Rollins, Reigns, Orton, Reigns. Whilst the Women's Rumble was won by Belair, Lynch, Flair, Deville, Banks. I don't think anyone could argue this list of winners that the Women's Rumble has. Whilst Money in the Bank Women's was won by Flair, Bliss, Ripley. Alexa Bliss a 3 times winner. Whilst the men's was won by Reigns, Rollins, Moxley, Danielson, Reigns. So, the Shield winning it in consecutive years, all 2-time winners, and Danielson winning a second to boot. Whilst into the other titles, let's start with tag teams. Women's tag team, oh god. Where did we leave off? God. We left off at the start of 2023, so we left off with Ripley and Belair. Then Natalia and Tamina won it, vacated. Banks and Bailey winning it to Canzaro and Carter. Good for them. To Banks and Bailey, Canzaro Carter. Banks and Flair, Canzaro Carter. Banks and Baker, Canzaro Carter. Ali and Hartwell vacated to Baker and Deville. So the story of the women's tag titles is essentially Canzaro and Carter keep winning it, and Sasha Banks keeps trying to find a new partner to win the belts back off them, but then they win it back and she finds a new partner. Sasha Banks, so many title reigns herself. I'm not even gonna... Oh, let's try 4 with Bayley. 5, 6. A 6-time women's tag champ, Sasha Banks. Jesus Christ. I mean, I wonder what she's done singles-wise, if she's just, considering all the tag titles she won, or she's just been in the tag division. Will be interesting to find out, but we'll stay with the tag to the AEW World Tag Team, which we start end of 2022. So we start with Kingston Woods to Ali and Otis, Cesaro and Balor, Jericho and Owens, the best friends, winning the tag titles, holding it till WrestleMania by the look of it, nearly. Or losing it to Orton and Riddle, RK Bro back together, winning the AEW tag titles, holding it for 5 months to FTR, holding it for 7 months till Mania, losing it to Authors of Pain, holding it for 3 months, losing it to Grizzled Young Veterans, your tag team of the year, who held it for a rather long time, for 6 months, before losing it to Cruz and Guevara, who held it for 5 months, 6 months, my mistake, before losing it to the New Day, your current 2-time champ. So we ended last episode with the New Day winning the titles, and in 5 years, they've been passed around and ended up back with the New Day. So some things never change. Whilst the WWE tag team titles over on Raw, we start off with the Mysterios, losing it to FTR, losing it to Cody and Dustin. The Rhodes brothers back together, holding the titles for 5 months, losing it to the New Day. The New Day holding it for 3 months, losing it to Grizzled Young Veterans, holding it for 4 months, losing it to Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo Los Lotharios, who held the title for, how long is that? 5 months, I want to say, losing it to Authors of Pain, holding it for 3 months, losing it to Los Lotharios again, holding it for 3 months, losing it to the New Day, holding it for 7 months, losing it to the Authors of Pain, holding it for 8 months, losing it to FTR, who held it for 3 months before losing it to Authors of Pain. Authors of Pain dominating these tag team divisions, aren't they? 4-time WWE tag team champs, 1-time AEW tag champs. Authors of Pain done really well here. Whilst mid-card wise, AEW, let's go down with WWE. WWE Intercontinental. We ended off with Jungle Boy, who held on till March. WrestleMania, lost to Corbin, Happy Corbin. Held the title for 5 months, lost it to Riddle. Held the title for 4 months, lost it to Jericho, a 10-time Intercontinental Champion now, who held it for 5 months before losing it to Sami Zayn, a 4-time champ. Held it for 4 months before losing it to Otis. Otis holding it for about 3 months, I want to say, before losing it to Orange Cassidy, who held it for 7 months, lost it to Pac, held it for 4 months, lost it to Cesaro, in what would have been a banging match, I'm sure, who held it for 4 months before losing it at WrestleMania to Kenny Omega, which definitely also would have been a banging match, I'm sure, who held it till August, so 5 months, and lost it to Otis. Sure. Otis doing quite well as well, isn't he, throughout this experiment? Tag titles, mid-card titles. Oh, the big Otis doing well. Happy to see it. Whilst AEW's TNT Championship, oh, Jesus Christ. Right at the bottom, Seth Rollins lost it to Moxley, his Shield brother, who held it for 2 months, lost it at Mania to Bryan Danielson. Banging match that would have been. The TNT title, I'm just looking at this list, a banging lineage, isn't it? Rollins lost it to Moxley, lost it to Danielson, held it for 3 months, lost it to CM Punk, held it for 2 months, lost it to Adam Page, held it for 4 months, lost it to The Miz, held it for 3 months, lost it to Cody Rhodes, held it for 5 months, lost it to The Miz, held it for 4 months, lost it to Darby Allin, held it for 1 month, lost it to Kyle O'Reilly, held it for 4 months, Adam Page, 3 months, Darby Allin, 4 months, Randy Orton, 1 month, Jinder Mahal, 2 months, Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy then held it for 6 months to MJF, who held it for 1 month before losing it to Mustafa Ali, your current champ. What a lineage this is. Just that initial run of, yeah, go from here. Guevara, Rhodes, Orton, Rollins, Moxley, Danielson, Page, Punk, Page, Miz, Rhodes, Miz. Incredible. The TNT title continues to book world a 90 prestigious, while Intercontinental's on an 84. The TNT title, one of the biggest titles in the company, you have to assume. Whilst the women's titles, the women are doing so well. I think I'll leave them till last, and we'll do the AEW World for now. Uh, with hardly any winners still. We left off last time with Big E, the champ. He held it till Mania, where he lost it to Roman Reigns, who held it for 8 months, 15 defenses, losing it to CM Punk, who held it for, 9 months, 16 defenses, lost it to Jon Moxley, the first and only 2-time champ, held it till WrestleMania from August to March, so 7 months-ish, 9 defenses, lost it to Riddle, getting his WrestleMania moment, who held it for the rest of the year, lost it in January, so about 9 months later, losing it to The Miz in the end, who retained it through Mania, held it till November, 10 months with the belt, lost it to your current champ, Jungle Boy, a 90 as well, another great lineage. I have absolutely no issues with Tony Khan's booking of this company, if you're wondering. These championships, I'm loving the reigns they've got. Whilst the WWE Championship, we left off last time, a lot less champions. We left off last time with CM Punk with the belt. He held it till May, so a total of 11 months, just shy of a year, 22 defenses, Jesus Christ. He lost it to Big E, who held it for a full year with 23 defenses. Lost it to Adam Page, held it for 8 months, 13 defenses. Lost it to Reigns, who held it for 7 months, 15 defenses. Lost it to Rollins, held it for a year, 19 defenses, before losing it to Reigns, who's held it for about 4 months. The WWE title, I mean, a lot of championship matches, fighting champions with this belt, holding it for a long time, really. Yeah, loving it. Who doesn't love nice long reigns? A nice long reign is great, in my opinion. A lot of defenses as well. Love to see it. Before finally, the women's title. Let's do the WWE women's first. 92, the second highest prestige. The highest prestige belt at the moment is the WWE title. Then the WWE women's with 92. Then you have the AEW World and AEW TNT with 90s. Asuka, the women's champion. Let's start off. We go to Charlotte Flair, who lost it at March 2023 to Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch held it for 7 months before losing it to Rhea Ripley. Held it for 7 months with 11 defenses before losing it to Charlotte Flair. Held it for 5 months with 5 defenses, lost it to Ripley. Held it for 7 months with 5 defenses, losing it at WrestleMania to Sonya Deville, her first reign. Held it for 4 months, 5 defenses to Asuka. Held it for 6 months with 12 defenses, lost it to Ripley. Held it for 6 months, 8 defenses, lost it to Bliss. Held it for 5 months with 5 defenses, lost it to Asuka, your current champ. No surprising names in the WWE title picture, really. These are all guys you'd expect, people you'd expect. No AEW names either, is there? I mean, yeah, Flair, Lynch, Ripley, Asuka, Sonya, all WWE names. I'd be interested to hear if it's the same with the women's title. Asuka, the wrestler of the year, of course, only held, the WWE women's title for 26 days of that, so I assume she did really well with the AEW women's title. Let's have a little look, shall we? Where are we starting? We start down here with Becky Lynch, who lost it in January 2023 after 11 defenses and 5 months, Jesus Christ, to Asuka, who held it for 6 months, 20 defenses. What? These are short reigns with massive number of defenses. They're defending these titles week in, week out. Asuka held it for 6 months, 20 defenses, lost it to Charlotte. Charlotte held it for 6 months, 15 defenses, lost it back to Asuka. Held it for 7 months, 17 defenses to Sonya Deville. Held it for 5 months with 13 defenses to Alexa Bliss. Held it for 2 months, 4 defenses to Asuka. Held it for 3 months, 10 defenses. Oh my god. Lost it to Ali. Good for Ali. Who held it for 5 months with 14 defenses. Lost it to Isla Dawn. Nice to see Isla Dawn here. Held it for 5 months, 10 defenses. Lost it at Mania to Sonya Deville. Held it for 3 months, 5 defenses to Hikaru Shida. Hikaru Shida held it for 5 months, 10 defenses. Lost it to your current champion, Britt Baker, who's held it just over a month. As that is what the title pictures are looking like. I mean, booking-wise, I'm loving those title pictures. Long reigns, a lot of defenses. Who doesn't love that? Company-wise, they've gone in 5 years. They had 300 workers. Now they have 295. So they've lost 5 of them only somehow. I want to have a look at WrestleManias. Who's got the WrestleMania main events? WrestleMania Sundays. we left off. Okay, so 2023 WrestleMania 39. The main events were Roman Reigns defeated Big E and Adam Page for the AEW World Title, and then on WrestleMania Sunday, Roman Reigns defeated Seth Rollins for the World Title, and Punk defeated Big E, Lesnar, and Omos for the WWE. Love to see it. Danielson Jungle Boy for the TNT for a 93. Asuka defeated Charlotte for a 95. Jesus Christ. Okay, WrestleMania 40, the big one, the 40th anniversary as they'd call it, even though it's not. WrestleMania Night 1. Main event, CM Punk defeated Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks to retain the AEW World Title for an 82. Disappointing. Ripley defeated Charlotte, finally, to retain the WWE Women's Title for an 89. Good. Big E defeated Miro for the WWE Title for an 87. Beautiful. Rose defeated Janela, Sting, and Moxley in a cell to retain the TNT. Amazing. Orton defeated Reigns in a cell for a 99. Love it. And then on to the second night of WrestleMania 40. Main event, CM Punk defeated Andrade and Riddle to retain the AEW World Title for a 95. That's more like it. Then Ripley defeated Flair and Bianca Belair in a cell to retain the WWE Women's for a 90. Love it. Rose did the same without a cell, essentially, for a TNT as night 1. Biggie defeated Edge and Nick Jackson to retain the WWE World Title. Nick Jackson losing 2 title matches over 2 nights. Unlucky, mate. WrestleMania 41 now. Riddle defeated Moxley to retain the AEW World Title for a 95. Beautiful. Reigns defeated Zayn in a cage to retain the WWE title for a 97. Lovely. Asuka defeated Bliss for the AEW Women's World Title for a 92. Amazing. And then on the second night, Riddle defeated Moxley again for a 95. Reigns defeated Danielson, Big E, and Omega in a cell for a 92. Asuka defeated Charlotte Flair for a 91. All very lovely. I do really like these bookings that have been going on. And then the latest one, WrestleMania 42, Miz defeated Big E in the main event to retain the World Title, AEW World Title for a 90. Rollins defeated Page and Danielson for the WWE for a 99. Ripley defeated Asuka for a 94. All beautiful, all amazing, all undefeated Rose by DQ. Some things never change. Them two right back at it. And then on the Sunday, the second night, main event, Rollins defeated Page for the WWE title for a 92. Miz defeated Big E to retain the AEW World title for a 94. Orange Cassidy defeated Pac, Rhodes, and Orton for the TNT title for a 99. Deville defeated Asuka for the AEW Women's World title for a 91. Yeah, overall, I'd say I'm enjoying these bookings. Tony Khan booking with Vince McMahon's ownership. An incredible combination. Ranked first in the world, $700 million in the bank. The latest pay-per-view, Full Gear. Asuka defeated Bliss in the main event for a 99. Reigns defeated Pac for a 95. Ali defeated Allen for a 99. Incredible. Over the moon. Nick Jackson, a lot in his own. Is Matt here? I gotta check that. Is Matt Jackson here still? Or is he... Or did they just get rid of one of the Jacksons? I'm just seeing Nick Jackson in a lot of single... Yeah. Unemployed. What happened? Broken friendship. Oh God. What did Britt Baker do? All I see is Britt Baker affair with DJ Z, which is Robert Stone, isn't it? I mean, she's the AEW Women's World and AEW Women's Tag Team Champ, so a lot of people hate her. Yeah, she cheated on Adam Cole, DJ Z, and so Kyle O'Reilly hates her, Al Snow hates her, Triple H hates her, Kevin Owens hates her, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson hates her. Amazing. Is Adam Cole still in WWE then? AEWWE. Or did Vince make his choice? No, he still is. Incredible. Not what I was expecting. Which also just means, yeah, Nick Jackson's gone. They just didn't want him. They wanted one of them to be a single star. Which, okay, Tony. As, yeah, once again, to answer the question, what if AEW and WWE joined forces? What if they came together to form one company, AEWWE, still going amazing. Still the biggest company in the world, which you'd probably expect with all the massive stars they'd have if they combined together. Still doing amazing. Tony Khan's booking, incredible in my opinion, with the especially the championship reigns, the length, all the fighting champions. I love it. And Vince McMahon's ownership, I mean, not going too wrong and financially very sound, so no issues overall, I would say. I hope you have enjoyed this experiment second part. I'll probably once again come back one more time for a 10 years later, just for an overall picture of this company. It should be good, I think, but for now this is it. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, then leave a like, leave a comment down below what you think of AEWWE. What do you think of Tony Khan's booking? What do you think of all the champions and everything going on here? And yeah, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more. Go check out another experiment video if you haven't already. And thank you for watching.